So the first project you dropped was Entering That.
Yep.
And before that, you were just kind of like writing joints. You weren't in the studio much.
I was in the studio actually more than, yeah, I was probably in the studio more than, but like I didn't have like any clear path on like putting a fucking project.
A trajectory.
Yeah, it was just a collage of music, an eclectic fucking collection of different sounding shit that I was experimenting with. And I would just throw something up every now and then. But a lot of it I just sat on and I let it evaporate.
Yeah, let it date itself.
It was practice. A lot of it was practice, right?
So when you started writing, were you pretty much just writing verses? Because when I started writing, like I didn't really have an idea of song structure. I just wanted to rap. Okay. So for me, writing choruses was difficult because I just wanted to spit a 32-bar verse. Like
you just want to keep it potent.
Yeah. So
in the beginning, it was more so like just bars. But
yeah.
Then when I actually got into the studio recording, it was more so just like song structure and things like that. So I really, really like tried to focus on like structuring a song the way I thought it would look mainstream, or like trying to mimic the way it looks in the mainstream.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so like I was like trying to get people to take me seriously. So I did want to have it constructed in the beginning. Like after. Like I guess
after the vetting process. Actually, Frantic taught me a lot about like song structure, because I just didn't know how to, like, I knew how to rap, but I didn't know how to make a song.
Which is a case for a lot of people in the beginning, right? Because it's like you're just like rhyming and you're putting this together and you're rolling with this and you're tying this into that, and it ends up being a page long of like, oh.
Is there anybody specific that helped you learn the structuring?
Yeah, shout out Nick. He was definitely a big brother and a mentor for me early on. He was like, yo, deliver it like this. Make sure you're structuring this, and make sure you're making sure you're hitting your punchlines at the right time. Don't put your best punchline. It ain't gonna be your first bar. It's like, in allowing me to learn how to set punchlines up.
Well, it's like a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like you gotta have the build up. You can't have all the action at the start, and then it's just, you gotta have that build up, and that's like really important in hip hop.
Yeah, and like he taught me a lot about setup, the structure, and like manipulating how I'm using things, and also like one thing that he was big on is like using slang. Like you use slang to make this word rhyme with this word. Like Wisconsin and what did T-Pain rhyme with back in Toronto? Like
I don't.
But off that fucking song, you like somewhere in Wisconsin, like, and it's like he was just like really fucking slanging out and manipulating.
Well, you
words,
can even
so
like
learn
like especially even if you listen to like Southern hip hop.
Yeah.
Like even just the drawl, like the way you pronounce a word, you can rhyme it in ways that you couldn't in a New York accent.
You can't. So it's like also like using different types of accents at different times to really fucking flex on like a track and show your versatility and making things work.
This is gonna sound weird, but you ever think about watering your shit down? Like, not that you do.
Yes.
Not that you do. I've never heard you water shit down.
I've definitely thought about it. I'm like, fuck, if I'm like, because like the mainstream is discouraging. I guess looking at the mainstream and looking at where you are as an artist, where I am as an artist, it's kind of discouraging, and not discouraging, but it's like, all right, cool. If I can break that, then I can go back to this, and then it's like, just water shit down and simplify it and make it fucking catchy.
It's like if I can just like talk Molly Percocet instead of like talking about like the scars on my body and on my mind, you know what I mean? Like really getting into it. It's less stressful because you don't got to air yourself out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's just surface level entertainment for people.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is fun. This is fun. So it's like, I've thought about it, never ever done it.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I feel like you really consider yourself, there's artists and there's entertainers. Right? There's an important distinction, right? And I feel like you really pride yourself on being an artist.
Yeah, like I want to create. I want to put out something that I felt was worthy of that creation. I don't want to be just like, all right, cool, here's another track, and like just throwing shit at a wall till it sticks.
I get really scared of like 10 years down the line listening to something I put out today and really cringing and being like, that's where I was at. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was saying. That's what I was promoting, and like,
it's a definitely like it's like oh fuck, it like the realization because even if I go back to like, I got this like exterior hard drive that I fucking have some high school tracks stored on. Like might let you listen to something sometime, but like there's some shit I'm just like. And it was like cringing listening to it. And it was like, and it's not that it was like, oh, that was fucking horrible to say. It was just like, damn. It's like I'm not that person I was as an adolescent.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it's like, and it's like, oh, like fuck, that's so funny. I'm saying some shit that and not even actually understand the full background.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, it's cool because like it's like a journal.
Yeah.
It's like a journal. Like I can go 100%. Back and listen to my old music and be like, oh shit, I remember that. Like that's where I was at.
And that's what it is.
Like, so between your two like full length projects, The Abyss and Redemption, how do you feel like the writing process and the creation process had changed?
So with Abyss, it was just like I was writing to like get like to gain recognition and like show my creative side and what I was capable of. And then so that's where the writing process was with Abyss. But more so with Redemption, it was like it was more personal. It was more for me, like in terms of like, okay, I gotta get back in, I gotta get something out for people. I gotta, like because like it was damn near 3 years between the projects. So it's like, so really having sit back so long and not do shit. And I felt like I was lacking material to give people. So I was like, I redeemed myself.
Was Redemption harder or easier creatively to put together than The Abyss?
It was, I guess, not creatively. I didn't struggle with it creatively. It was more like confidently, like being sure and assertive of like putting that the fuck out. It was like a lot of self-doubt in that process because I was like, I think I sat on that for a year, if not more, and like just thought about like, fuck, I should add more to this. I should add more to this. Maybe another song. No, just playing tug of war with myself. Like, I like this, I don't like this. It's really dope, it fucking sucks. And that thing that we get into our heads about as artists, and it's like, so it was just more difficult personally, like in like accepting it as like, I should just put this body of art out.
Being able to move on from a piece of work is really important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being able to just get it out there, like once you feel it's good enough, right? Like you don't put out shit you're not happy with, but like at some point you just gotta get it out and move on to the next one.
Yeah, because like I think for me is like the longer I sit on something, the less happier I am with it.
Yeah.
So it's like the sooner I get that the fuck out, I'm gonna be like, cool, it's out there, I've done what I did, and now people can consume it and take it in for what it is. So
well, like you listen to your music a lot. Or at least like when you're getting ready to drop something. Like I find when I'm ready to drop something, I listen to it a lot because I get like, I want to hear the details. And sometimes I just get fucking sick of myself, man. Like I like people will talk to me about how dope a song is and I'm like, fuck that song. I already heard it 8 million times.
Yeah, and it's like I already spent so many hours with it. I wrote the goddamn thing, I performed it, and I recorded it, and I listened to it, and then I gave it to you guys. And I just find it like, I find it interesting that people hear it differently. Because I'm just stuck on hearing it that one way. And they're like, oh, I heard this. And I'm like, okay.
People tell me that my lyrics mean things that they don't. People are so sure that my lyrics mean things sometimes. And I'm like, no.
I've had that happen to me one time.
It rhymed. The word rhymed. The word rhymed. That's it.
And it's like, it's funny when like, I don't know. I think it's just funny when someone gets something different from the music than I intended, which is we're all entitled to. It's not that it's a bad thing that someone's getting something different from it. It's just like, oh, that hit you in that way. Because someone else's experience that may line up with something that you said is a different. It has comes from a different origin.
Yeah, I've had people tell me that they saw way more into a line than I ever met, and their perspective is so cool. And
so
I'm just
deep.
like, you're right. That's exactly what I meant.
when you gave a deeper
Brilliant.
definition to
Yeah, when somebody tells me that, Mike.
surface line that I threw out there. Yeah.
So, who do you want to work with that's coming out of here?
Oh, to Halifax?
Yeah, like who's somebody that's like somebody young. Actually, no. Let's put that on the back burner. Who, when you were coming up, is somebody that you really fucked with and was like, I love their style and I want to be like that?
In general or Halifax? Are we general Halifax?
Let's just say let's at least keep it to Canada.
Okay.
Let's I would like to keep it more Atlantic region, like. You know what I mean? Like, who's some, like, I told
Jay
you
Brew.
Jay
Jay
Brew
Brew
is
is
a
always
big
one of those ones that is like, I haven't worked with him yet. I've worked in proximity with, like, doing different shows and stuff like that. But, like, we haven't worked together on track, which is weird to think about now. But, like, Jay Brew has always had, like, that shit. Like, you know, like, he always comes hard and he always saying some shit. It's not just, like, he's not just rapping. He's not just saying dumb shit.
Stranger in My Hometown album was so fire. Like, it was one of those first local albums that I was like, that's heat. Ambition was a big one for me too. Because he just has the dopest voice. Like, he just, his cadence.
He's like, fuck, he's so laid back and shit.
That's what I mean. It's just so cool. Of course, Socks. You know, it's cool being at a point where, like, a lot of people that, like, I looked up to our
peers now.
Peers, yeah.
And it's like you're working on them with like, you're getting to work with them and you're getting to learn a lot with them. Like Socks, funny, it's like I met Socks not as an artist first, funny enough. It's like, because of working at Alter Egos, he lived next door or whatever, and just meeting him as Darren is like, you know, like, oh, cool. And then he's like, he's a rapper. I'm like, oh, really? Fuck. And then getting into his music and then being like, holy fuck, this fucking person's dope. I should be learning from him.
Yeah.
And then him just fucking basically take me under his wing and fucking taking me to another level in my career that I wouldn't have reached at that point.
Absolutely.
Without, you know.
Shout out to Socks, man. He's been there for, like, a lot of us.
Works tirelessly for people, which is, like, a rare quality.
Yeah.
You find in anybody. And so, like, you have that, and, like, having the people to support you and then put you in the, like, without Socks, Abyss wouldn't have happened. Neither would have Redemption, because all those were recorded at Festers. I wouldn't have
known Fester throughout.
Like, so it's like all this shit ties together through this one.
Like, even I met you through Socks.
Exactly, and it's like there's so much shit, and it's like we don't know how much sometimes one person can hold a lot of shit and bring it together.
Absolutely. And, like, you know, even you gave me one of my first shows.
Yeah.
Was
that the Pavilion?
One at the Pavilion, and we would do the Raw Cyphers at Egos.
Those were fucking dope.
Yeah, man, we should bring those back, man. The Raw Cyphers were dope.
I got the energy for those.
No, getting old for this shit.
I wish, but we'll get something.
The talk about Socks is making me think of, like, so you're also, like, involved in the community and putting on shows like The Emerge, like, you know, or like involved in, like, working with that
shout
and, like, doing
Dina for fucking holding that down.
Dina, Vitamin D Entertainment.
Boom.
But, like, you know, in what ways do you think being a community oriented person and, like, helping put on these shows has impacted your artistry?
It allowed me to create art that I was able to, like, just think and be like, this works across the board. This isn't as raw as it's gonna be. It's not gonna offend people in, like, a way of, like, say fucking, I don't know. You name a track that is, like, gonna fucking, that is just made for one particular setting, like a club vibe, or I'm just touring my fucking album and people are here for this one thing. But creating music that is able to be across platforms, because I've done school tours, I've did Canadian tours, I've done fucking community shows, I've did fucking like little side jobs where people are like, oh, can you come do this at 7 Bays? Like I've done like
all sorts of shit,
all kinds of different types of shows, and being able to have music that is versatile to fit any of those demographics, from being, is it 14-year-old kids to 18-year-old kids, or is it strictly a community show where it's all ages? Is it a show where I'm just in a club? Just having all of that and not just pigeonhole myself.
You have to be versatile.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, your fuse can run short pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, like, just, I mean, like, as an artist, this, it's like a meat grinder, you know what I mean? You're on top, then they chew you up and spit you out, right?
Exactly.
So, like, you gotta really be involved in, something even I learned, I was mostly focused on just being a rapper. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was my shit. That's what I want to do. But I wouldn't think about other aspects of like the culture, about like putting on shows or producing or doing a podcast, right? And like, I didn't realize how much just being involved in it would impact and like better my art and introduce me to people that would teach me things and like make my life better. And that I could do that for other people, that I could put other people on.
Exactly, and I think the biggest thing for me doing shows and doing like the UNI Festival and Raw Cypher and so many other things along with other people allowed me to see what I was looking for and what I should be looking for while working with promoters and people that are booking shows. And it allows me to like really look through, because there's so many people like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this show. You guys, can you come do this show? When is it? What is it? What is it for? Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just wanted to do a show. Those times, usually those ones are the ones that fucking fall through and you committed to it, or they'll hit you up fucking the night of the show and like, you're still coming through, and they haven't did any follow up, and it's like, there's different levels in not just being, never do pay to play, by the way.
Yeah, no.
That's just a side note.
That's like, it's like me going to a restaurant, okay, and then paying me to eat the fucking food.
They don't do that.
You know what I mean? Like you are the commodity, right? Like people are coming to see you.
Exactly.
Right? You shouldn't be paying for people to come see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy how people exploit promoting and.
It's like an OnlyFans where I pay motherfuckers to watch me eat pizza in my underwear. You watch, I'll pay. On that note, so I just got a couple more questions for you. If you could change one thing about the culture, what would it be? And the culture being the hip hop culture. I figured you extrapolated that, but just for the audience out there.
But like, I would change what the mainstream is consumed of. Like, I would like give people with fucking real skill, real talent, the fucking mainstream. Like, cool, like, you want to fucking rap about drugs and doing your shit? Go do that under, give that to the underground, give that, like, bring the underground to the mainstream.
To the mainstream.
Like, I would flip the tide.
Of course.
That would be my, if I could snap my fingers and change something, I would put everybody in the underground that are fucking really dope onto the top.
You just flip it over. You flip the box.
Yeah, and then like, that'd be my switch. That'd be the one thing I switch.
I feel that. I would make rap less cool. like if that makes sense.
I guess I get that because it's like everybody's like, oh, I want to be a rapper. I'm gonna be a rapper.
Like I love the art, and I'm like happy that it's out there for the world to take it in. But I just feel like it's such an abused culture. You know what I mean? It's such an exploited, culture. And
it's crazy.
That sucks, but it is what it is. Do you think you'll be like? I can't read. I can't write either.
I can't read.
I can't read. So, like, do you think you'd be focusing, like, in the future? What direction do you want to go in? Like, do you want to like? Is there gonna be a point where you want to be mainly an artist again, or are you happy like being, like like organizing events and like doing like the UNI Fest.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to have to be an artist to get paid. I guess so. I want to be in the like planning realm of like putting on shows and bringing artists in and paying artists and shit like that, because I did like, for me, being like relying on doing shows to get paid is fucking stressful.
it's stressful, and
stressful.
it makes being an artist less fun.
Yeah, because like I'm like,
Yeah, really?
I just want to be able to create music and put out projects and like not have to worry about like
watering your shit down so it'll sell.
Yeah, like, dude, is this something they want? And luxury, like, I have the luxury of not having to worry about that, but I don't want to get to a point where it's like I'm signed to a label where I'm like fucking. They're like, well, it got to sound like this, Wooz. It's got to sound like this, Wooz. And you know, like just hovering of like the image and the branding of that.
Yeah.
So I definitely do want to be able to. I want to be putting on shit. I want to be doing shit. I want to be working with artists. I want to be working with music.
To be honest, that's always when I felt like the closest to hip hop.
I'm more motivated when I'm like,
When you're putting on for other people and
yeah,
shit
like
too.
so like if I'm doing like the UNI and shit like that and the raw ciphers, I'm more inclined to write better shit because I've just done something I like fucking doing. So now I can decompress and I'm motivated by watching other people come through and spit some dope shit.
And when you see a young cat spit some really gnarly shit, like just fire, right? You're like, oh fuck no! Oh hell
I gotta show
no!
I still got it.
Oh hell no! Yeah. You gotta dust off the microphone, like break in case of emergency in the notepad. Be like, oh, listen, I got something for you kids. Crack your back. And we'll get to it. Hip hop will always be competitive.
And if you can't not be competitive, because if you're just like I said like earlier, like if you're that person that's really cool with just making and leaving it just for you, that's fine. You don't got to be competitive. And also being competitive doesn't mean you're trying to be like or better than the next person, but you got to push your fucking self. You got to like, okay, cool, I got to outdo myself while still like being admiring that this person just did something fucking great.
Yeah.
Like you can't take that away from people. You can't be so naive and being like, my shit is superior to everybody.
Yeah.
But knowing that there's always room for growth because you're always changing as an individual, so your art should be changing along with you. And that's just the front and foremost.
Yeah. Like we tear each other down so much.
Yeah.
In this.
Crazy.
And it's, we generally work better together. Like I've realized that every time I've we were talking about doing this podcast, right? It wasn't just like a me thing or like, when you involve so many different minds, like you can really do bigger shit for everybody. Like you can, it's better for you, it's better for your friends and your family and your loved ones.
And that's why the industry brings in, they have writing sessions and like when these artists that are signed to major labels, they're not in the studio alone. They have a team of people in there working with them, which is like, okay, we hear that thing about ghostwriters and fucking, oh, he didn't write this and she didn't write that. But like at the same time, it's like, you got to go get an open heart surgery. There ain't one doctor in the fucking room.
Yeah.
You know, like there's not one doctor in the fucking room.
You need a second opinion.
You need all these other hands like to help you perform the best you can. So and that's essentially what we have to understand. And it's like when we're working with other artists, we're gonna get more out of ourselves because Frank is gonna have a creative input. Like no, like you should do this way, or like like. I admire sessions where I'm in the studio with other artists. Yeah,
like, of course.
And and you're gonna get the best work from yourself as well because it pushes you to create better. But yes, you can create at home by yourself or in the studio by yourself, but you're gonna push yourself so far.
Yeah. I find when I'm writing, like when people are having a conversation, like I can just come up with a hook based on the conversation that someone's having, right? And then they can, if they're already having the conversation, so
turn already involved. Now you have a track.
Some of the best hooks I ever wrote, like we've just been talking, and then like somebody will say something like, "Yeah, you know it," and then it's just like, and then I'm just like, like they're just like, just weird looking. It's like a football team, right?
Yeah.
right? Like you need a quarterback, you need somebody to throw the ball, you need somebody to catch the ball, right? Everybody plays different positions. Everybody will teach you different things. Everybody has their strengths.
Exactly, and that's it. And you need a well-versed team. You can't just have bar masters.
And you need people that'll tell you when you're not tight. Like when Fessa sent me home. He sent us home. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you need people to tell you the real dope.
Yeah, be fucking familiar. Go learn your fucking playbook. You ain't gonna step onto the field not knowing your playbook. You ain't gonna fucking like join a team and not know a shit about the sport. So it's like you need to know the basics and you need to know that you're ready to perform and you can do the basics. And that when you learn the basics, you can get fancy.
Yeah. Even like little things, you know, like not holding the mic up here, right? Not cupping the mic, which is something every rapper does. And if you catch me on stage drunk enough, I'll still do it.
It's definitely one of those big things that I've cupping the mic is my biggest thing.
You can't. It totally
the feedback is
screws everything up. But you know, it's the little things that are growing pains. But you know, I like what I've like the direction I've seen you going in. Like,
thank you.
We listened to your whole discography last night, and Redemption was fire.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't heard it yet, stream it anywhere.
KXNGWOOZ on Bandcamp, Spotify. It'll all be there.
Okay, so on Spotify, Redemption has 2 R's at the start of it.
No, it don't.
Yes, it do. And, you know,
I don't know how that happened because anywhere else it shouldn't have any. Like,
I actually, we were talking about it last night, and I thought it was something you did to make it easier to find. I actually thought it was I thought you like.
I did that in purpose.
So like, someone wouldn't get lost in the sauce with all the other shit.
Yeah, it's double R, I guess.
Redemption. Redemption. This is my dog.
We are not affiliated with someone's Roll Up the Rim.
No. You know, white people can't roll their R's.
Really?
For the most part, sorry. For the most part.
Roll the R.
Roll the R's, they can't.
Can you roll the R, Frederick? I don't know.
Oh. I'm French.
Frederick's French, though. He's a French white man.
That's funny.
Last question. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up.
All right, what's that?
What's coming? What's coming? What are your goals? What do you focus on? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? You got another project in the works?
It's on the drawing board. I don't know. I'm just like I'm really trying to put together something that shows my versatility and like my diverse. I don't know. Like I want to put together a body art that is. You can tell it's me, but you don't expect it. I want to give you something that you not quite expecting. It's not the same stylistically or lyrically. The lyrics will be there, of course.
Yeah, always.
But like, I want to give you some shit. Maybe I want to do some party tracks. Maybe I want to do some club bangers. You know, like some kind of shit.
Well, balance is important, right? You can't just be serious all the time.
I find I'm pretty like if I was to like go back and listen to my music and be like as an objective fan, first thing I would say, that nigga's boring. If I had dementia like right now and you showed me that product, I'm like, that nigga is boring. That's my own opinion of me though. So like I just don't like I feel like I get boring quickly. So I just want to show you on the next fucking thing that there's gonna be a little bit of everything and it's gonna sound a lot different.
I don't get bored of your shit.
Oh, that's good.
I think a lot of people don't, but I am excited to see what you do next. I like, I feel like you're gonna get more into like at least production-wise that entering the. I want it to be that collective of not just this sound, but yeah, like you said, like that R&B. There's a little bit of R&B. There's a little bit of mainstream sound. There's a little bit of like that authentic hip hop, and just bringing that all together in a collage of music is gonna be fun to do. Of course, and working outside of your comfort zone is like it's fun. It's more fun.
I want to work with live artists or live instruments. So if you hit me up if you guys want to fucking work, I need some live instrumentation on here.
Who are your favorite people to collab with? I know you got a couple frequent collaborations. Maj would be one of them.
Maj is one. We did a really great collab on your album. You were really
Oh,
fun to
yeah.
collab with. That was fucking dope as hell.
Yeah. Us and Aquaculture.
Yep.
You'll hear it eventually.
That's gonna be fucking crazy.
I love it.
Who else is really dope to work with? Socks is easy to work with. Really fucking dope. And he, honestly, I think every time I've written with Socks or was on his track with Socks, I think I rewrote my verse. So that speaks to the nature of which level he pushes me to.
Cyrus. Oh no, Socks. No, because on one of your songs, the start of
Sons of Osiris.
Sons of Osiris, right? But
it to the mind,
Socks will just like come off the jump talking this like crazy abstract shit, but it makes sense. Like, you know, like on that joint, the first thing is Sons of Osiris. I just like, what the fuck, man? Like he just gets into it. Yeah. I had a dream like Martin Luther that started super. Watching the clouds cruise and stars maneuver. Like, you know what I mean? Just
like he is so like there's it's very vivid and very like it's not surface level. He doesn't rap on the surface. You definitely have to have an understanding of something, or you're gonna have to search.
And it's very visual.
Very fucking visual.
This brings me to I keep saying it's the last question. All right. The statistical categories of hip hop: flow, delivery, storytelling, blah, blah, blah. What do you think are your strengths?
Storytelling, flow. Oh, well, I'm pretty fucking dope. On the other hand, on the other hand, I'm saying I'm boring. You know, two sides of the same coin.
Hey, man, that's the duality of man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my storytelling is pretty fucking dope.
Your storytelling is really good. Like The Dawn from Redemption.
Yeah.
Was that Redemption?
Yeah, that was off Redemption.
Yeah, the Dawn and The Fight.
Those are like kind of like spoken words. Those were things I wrote to beats that I liked, but I really wasn't in love with. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep these going and just fucking put them out as acapellas and or spoken words if you want to be so poetic.
Yeah.
And yeah, like those were just literally fucking moments of my reality of like, what the fuck? A lot of those. So it's like, it's a new dawn, like someone killed the old one.
Yeah, really, it's a new dawn, like someone killed
I'm just up watching the sunrise, trying to change the fact I'm feeling like I'm no one. But if I don't, then let me hang by this bow tie. And like, just having like that sense of like, fuck, it's a new day, but I gotta fucking make something. I gotta make something. I gotta make something of this. And then, but having that fucking grim hope of like, it might not happen.
Yeah.
You know, like that we all fucking struggle with as human beings. It's like, we don't usually focus on the positive. It's always the
negative shit.
Yeah. And it's like, if you just think of the positive side, sometimes it does change the outcome of a lot of shit.
No doubt.
I'm a fucking monk or something.
Yeah. Well, like, I thought your storytelling was always great.
Yeah, my storytelling, I think my flow is really great.
Cherry Pools.
Oh my gosh, like, that track's on the next project.
That's like, yeah.
That I think that was to date one of my best written verses. I don't know if Frantic heard that, but
I don't know. It was
might PP on that afterward.
Yeah, you should hear it. It's fucking insane.
But yeah, like my storytelling, my lyricism, and my flow. I guess I'm pretty. I'm very versatile with flow, but I haven't displayed that on my projects. So,
yeah.
So you'll see it on the next stuff.
That's what I like to hear.
You definitely got to see the fucking flow play on there.
Yeah, man. You know, you got to switch up the flow.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like. I wouldn't say struggle with. I think struggling presenting is the more so the thing, because like I could run off fucking 8 tracks right now with so many different flows, and then they're not on the projects. They haven't made the cut. They haven't made the project.
Balance is important too. Like, I remember one time Socks told me, like, when we first started chilling, he's like, you need to work on your writing more, right? And I was like, fuck. I took a lot of pride in my writing.
Yeah.
Right? But
it's not in that sense. It's like,
well, no, it was the delivery. Like, I would try and cram so much in that I would sacrifice my delivery, and then it wouldn't sound as good because I was like throwing all the bars in.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that like crisp.
You wouldn't. There wasn't space for fluidity.
No, and that like hurts. That hurts it. So yeah, switching it up sometimes is real important.
I want to get on.
And not getting pigeonholed
Yeah.
into just a style, like,
I think you're the most diverse at this table, by the way. I'm just saying it. Because, like, you do so many different styles, and I'm like, when I watched you perform last time, and I was just like, holy fuck, Frantic's crazy.
Yeah.
This is so fucking crazy.
It's
because you're
facts.
going, like, literally from rap to, like, a, like, melodic, like, soulful, like, crazy, I don't know, like, R&B style, but not, like, what you would think of in terms
Frantic,
of, like,
Frantic will go from, like, I'm gonna pull your face off rapping to, like, I'm, like, singing a beautiful hymn to you. And
and it's
what I mean. Like he like when we started like rocking with the Underdogs together, like he really expanded a lot of my horizons, like as to what I could sonically do. Because I pigeonholed myself.
I'm always bored.
That's good. That's a good thing. Boredom is a good thing if it's gonna allow you to create differently.
Absolutely.
And that's because like some people get bored and just stop. And
or get discouraged and stop. Like, nah, man, we've all faced our fair share of adversity, but we kept it moving.
Yeah.
And that's life.
I think there was one question there that I did want to answer that you asked me earlier. Fuck.
Was it the one about being a director?
No, not that one. There was another one. What would be something that I want people to know about?
Oh yeah, if you could, let me just ask the question so they know. If you could have one thing that your fans knew about you as a person, what would it be?
I'm a person, not more important than them. I'm like, fuck. Because, like, I don't know, I think what we perceive people as a lot of the times is more than what they are, we think of them more than what we are. So, like,
that pedestal.
Yeah, we place them on a pedestal. And yes, there's people over here that are fucking doing really dope ass things, but at the end of the day, they're still fucking humans. They're just fucking on the day-to-day thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're just living day to day. They could walk out and get hit by that bus, or somebody else to somebody else.
Yeah, well, you're always somebody else to somebody else.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's like, fuck, man. It's like, so
that's
having that thing of like, appreciate you. I appreciate you as much as you appreciate me. I guess.
Of course.
That's the biggest thing I want you to know about me.
That's facts. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting hungry.
I'm hungry as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, let's go get a slice at Randy's. Thank you for tuning into the Get Down podcast.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
Wooz,
Frantic.
thank you so much for coming through, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you always and to pick your brain and get a better understanding of a person that, I already got a deep love and appreciation for. So
appreciate that. I'm here.
Yeah, this was supposed to be an hour long, so have fun editing that.